Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca, and here on my channel I like to talk about budgeting and finance, and today I am going over my June 2021 budget. If you're new to my channel, I always plan in my plum paper planner and I design my little sheets myself. I set them up to match the plum paper monthly sticker subscription, and I absolutely love June's. I think it is so cute. Here you can take a look with all the rainbows, and then the little flourishes with the dots. I just love the colors. I love like this blue and the mustard, just really cute stuff. So if you want to see me plan with those, you can check back on my channel when I do my plan with me. But anyway, let's get into it. So I have been kind of reformatting my little budgeting sheet because things keep changing in my budget and I just keep trying to make it, work better to fit my needs. I feel like if you're going to make something custom to you, might as well make it exactly what you need. So you will see that it's kind of a little bit new. I've played with the format, but as always, I'll start with our income. I live with my husband, Jared, in the North Texas area, and I don't share our individual sources of income, mostly for Jared's privacy, but I do share kind of our miscellaneous income. And then if you'll notice, we have an extra line item because we've just added a new source of income to our budget, which is my business income for wedding planning, which is really exciting. I have my first wedding in June, so I will be taking just a really small, like $200 of pay for that. But June, I think, is going to be a lower income month because we are going to be on vacation for the first week. So Jared won't have any lessons. He is a music teacher for one of his jobs, and then his other job he will be doing less of. So I initially in May had budgeted for like $1,000 of debt holding from we had a really high income month in April, and I will link that up above. You can see that, but why I did that. But we actually ended up having more income than I thought we would in April. So I moved a portion of that to June just because I knew that again it'd be a lower income month. So I've budgeted for us to have $500 of miscellaneous income in June, which is just half of that. I just split it right in half. And then I'm so sorry if you can hear the recycling in the background. It is so loud right outside my house always. But so our total income that I am expecting for us to have this month is $58.30, which is about our typical, and I try to budget conservatively so that I will be pleasantly surprised with higher numbers. So I always hope that the number is higher than what I put, but plan on the worst. Okay, and then I used to put my tithe, our giving, as like our first bill, but it was kind of messing up my total here at the bottom and making it look like we were always spending more on bills because then we'd budgeted, because obviously if we make more, we tithe more, and then that would skew the number. So I moved it up to its own line item, and I did have debt there, and since we're currently not making any payments on debt, I just replaced it with our tithe. So we always just give as the first thing in our budget our 10% because we are believers. So that'll be $600 this month. And then our bills section, our mortgage is always $1,200. My phone bill is $44. Wi-Fi is $70. Our electricity, I've already got the bill, and it's right under $50. So I'm going to put that. Water, sewer, trash, I don't know this yet because I am having to film this a little early because we're going out of town really soon. But I am going to just guesstimate based on kind of our previous months and put $94. Hopefully it's a little less because I think it will be for part of the time when we weren't actually living here, but I don't know. Natural gas, this one I honestly have no idea. It's been all over the map recently with how much it costs, but I'm just gonna put $75. And then car insurance is always $154, and health insurance is $161. And that's why I never put, like, I don't do fixed expenses, variable expenses, because I like to do, like, these are my actual bills, like these have to get paid, and a lot of them are variable, like all of the utilities. But anyway, the total amount of bills is $18.41. And then onto my expenses, groceries and household, I always budget $400, and we are actually going to be in North Carolina for the first week in June. We're actually going, we had planned to go for just 1 week at the beginning of June, but now we've been asked to go a little bit a week earlier to help with kind of some construction that Jared's parents are doing. That's who we're going to visit in North Carolina. So now we're going for 2 weeks, and which means that we're definitely going to want groceries, and to be able to cook in our Airbnb and not have to eat out the whole time. So I am estimating just a normal amount of groceries. And then eating out, because of that, we will have, we're not having a car. We're going to fly, and then his parents are going to pick us up at the airport. So I think that we might be doing a little bit more eating out because we are going to be in a downtown area, trapped kind of. So we usually budget $180, and I put $220. I just want to be more realistic and not be disappointed when we do eat out more. I also will I am having a hard time deciding what's a travel cost from our travel budget and what it goes in items from our regular budget, because when we went to Tulum a couple months ago, I counted it all as travel costs. But last summer we went to North Carolina, kind of a very similar trip to this one, and I kind of put it all in the budget and only put specific items that were travel related in the travel costs, like Airbnb and rental car, that kind of thing. So I don't know, let me know what you would do for that, because I do have a travel sinking fund, and realistically we could use just that, but I don't know. Anyway, gas, I'm putting $70. Gas obviously has been going up recently, but we will be without need of a car for a week. And then I also drive a Prius, so I think this will be sufficient. And then every month we each get $100 for our allowance, just to spend whatever. And then shoestring flings. This, I separated out. I was just putting, I have some regular costs for, this is my, wedding planning business, and I have some regular costs that I was just including as a subscription, but now that I'm actually making income from my business, I'm, putting them separately, so that's, my work email and, a calendar service, and then this month I actually need to kind of stock up on, my emergency kit items for things to bring with me to the event, so I'm budgeting $100 to take home, which is why I gave myself money in income to kind of compensate for that. And then subscriptions, this will be $40. And eventually I am going to separate this out completely and make it its whole own budget. I just am not making enough right now to do that. So this is how I am doing it. And then house costs. Okay, so we are having a housewarming party at the very beginning of July. So I want to get a few more things for the house to be ready for that, just to make sure it's all cute. So we want to, it's mostly going to be an outside party. So we want to kind of dress up the outside space. If you've seen my empty house tour video, which I will link up above, you know that it's not there's nothing back there. So right now we're working on building Adirondack chairs. We just bought 2 and we want some more, and then a fire pit and kind of some landscaping. So I'm planning on $500 for that. Hoping to spend less because that is a lot of money, but I just want to be, again, realistic so I'm not disappointed. And then miscellaneous, I just always give ourselves $100. So this top category is $16.30 in expenses, and then this is where you'll notice kind of the biggest change. So I've been playing around with how I do my savings line items. I was doing it, all in one category, and I was doing it just budget and actual, all the others, but that really wasn't working for me. So now I am trying a new way. So I kind of split out regular savings and my sinking funds, and I changed it to be how much is in there to start at the month, how much I plan to put in, how much I actually put in, and then how much is at the end of the month for savings. And then for sinking funds, because sometimes I put money in but then spend money, I wanted to do a start, how much I'm adding, how much I'm using, and how much is there at the end, which is really helpful for things like travel, gifts, and home renovations, which are things that I have been spending up here in my expense budget, and it was getting a little confusing in my budget. So I'm hopeful that this will be an easier way to keep track of it all. So I don't have the starting numbers for each of these because the month of May hasn't ended yet. So I don't exactly know where all of these are going to end up, but I will fill that out and then the end number. So you'll see that kind of at my budget wrap up at the end of June. So starting with my emergency fund, I was putting $100 in here every month, and we're just trying to constantly contribute to this because, Jared's self-employed and we don't want to be foolish because, obviously with everything that's happened, we could lose some income at any point. But it isn't our main goal right now. So I was doing 100, and we just really don't have a lot of wiggle room this month because of house expenses and a lower income. So I slashed that to give us a little bit more in debt holding. We're not going to have a high debt holding month. I'll actually do that one last. I know that's not in order, but that is, we do a zero-based budget. So all of our income equals all of our expenses, and all of the surplus from all of our regular expenses goes towards whatever goal we're working on, which right now is paying off my student loans. But because they are all in forbearance, I'm just holding on to that money until September, because I figured it's they're not due and they're not accruing interest, so it's better served in my account accruing interest than in the government's pocket right now. So anyway, I'll skip that line and I'll do investments. I have a Roth IRA, and we just actually opened one for Jared, and so we're just putting a little bit in there. Just planned for 120 this month. Again, it's not our current priority, but as soon as we have enough money allocated towards, like, enough to pay off my student loan, which has a balance of like $12,000 right now, we will start contributing way more to our Roth IRAs for retirement. And then for my sinking funds, again, I don't know the starting balance, but home maintenance and reno, this is one that I am actively spending out of. So I'm putting $400 in it this month. I plan to spend all 400 of that dollars, but we want to build an outdoor table. I don't know if that'll happen in June, but I want to put it in the budget, and then we want to get a new kitchen sink. So that is part of my plan for June. And then travel, I'm allocating 300, and again, I plan to spend probably most of, if not all of this, because we are going on our trip to North Carolina, but then we also have just a fun little weekend getaway planned near the end of the month with our community group at church. So a lot of traveling in the month of June, and just probably, I'm guessing, over the whole summer, just little trips. So then gifts, I don't think we have any gifts to buy in June because we've already bought a Father's Day gift. But so we just put the regular amount of $50 in here. And then Christmas, we're just doing 20, which again is not very much right now, but we'll increase that number closer to Christmas. And then health, I was doing $100 every month towards health, but we've got up to a pretty good amount. I think we have like $600 or $700 in there now. So I'm less worried about having an immediate large fee that would wipe us out. So we're putting a little bit less so that we can put more towards the debt. So we're just going to do $60 this month. And the same with auto. That's another one that we have a lot in. So this month we were just planning on doing 80. And we will raise those back up once we, have more wiggle room in our budget. This month is just not as fruitful as I think usually they are. So our total for the sinking funds is 910. So all of our surplus from that is 672, which is not very much, and I wish we could do more. That's just how it has to be. So our total for that savings category is 842. And I think that my student loans are actually, like, based on like how much we owe minus how much we have saved right now, are actually under $6,000 or under $7,000, one of those numbers, which is actually really exciting. And I am so ready to be done with those. But if you enjoyed this budget, just let me know. And I have been sharing a copy of this budget because I had a couple people ask if they could use it, and I was sharing it, but I don't know anymore since I've kind of changed the layout and it's more personalized. Let me know if you still want me to share that, because I definitely can. I just don't know if anybody wants it anymore. But thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked what you see, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.